It's me, LisaT. It's me, LisaT, coming at you with some positive energy. Lighten up your life with Lisa. Reading The Language of Letting Go by Beattie. When you guys look at me, does it look like I'm holding a secret of some like special? Can you see it in my eyes or in my smile or in my demeanor that I've got like a special little secret that happened? Anyways, I feel giddy right now. Okay, so down to business. I'm reading The Language of Letting Go by Beattie, and we are reading June 2nd. Owning Our Power. Oh, this is a good title. Okay. Owning our power. Owning our power. This means everything we've been learning thus far is about not letting someone else's, actions, behaviors, thoughts, whatever, dictate how we feel inside. So whether someone's rude to us at a store or whether someone in our family, isn't behaving the way we want them to, making sure that we don't give away our power. So meaning that, whatever they're doing doesn't mean that I'm going to change the way I feel about myself or change the way I feel. So I'm not going to let anything steal my joy. Up to us to stay strong in that, not to let anyone else's belief system override my belief system, to really own our power and not be victims of this world, not be victims of people, places, and things, and to stand strong in our truths and self-love and self-care, right? So owning our power, June 2nd. We don't have to give others so much power and ourselves so little. So we don't have to give it to others, and we don't have to give too much to them and so little to ourselves. We don't have to give others so much credit and ourselves so little. Oh, I can relate to that one. I thank people a lot in my life. Thank you so much for helping me do this, or thank you so much for guiding me along the way, or someone who's watching right now in this very moment that, I know she said it to me too. She's like, you did it. I used to give my power away so often, saying, thank you so much for that person, and thank you so much. And they would remind me, Lisa, you did it. You did this work. You were the one that reached out for help, or you were the one that did the studying, or you were the one, but I couldn't own that. I didn't know how to do that. So it's really important for us to be able to credit ourselves and to feel proud of ourselves and not to wait for somebody else to do that for us, and to also not give our power away and to be able to give it back to ourselves. So in recovery from codependency, we learn there's a big difference between humility and discounting ourselves. So again, this word humility, I'm going to interrupt the reading because humility was a big word or a word that was really big time confusing me. I didn't understand humility. So humility, my take on it, and hopefully this will help you all, is not thinking more or less than of ourselves, recognizing that, not thinking I'm better than that person and not thinking I'm less than that person, staying humble when something really amazing happens, to not let it go to our heads, when life starts rolling along, to not let it go to our house. When life starts rolling along really well, remembering what we did to get there, that we probably worked hard and did something that got us to that spot, so not to let that out go and just go, okay, here we go now, I got this. That's getting ego, right? That's letting it get to your head. We got to stay humble and remember that we're humans and we're working towards a better life. So I hope that helps you with humility. Okay, so there's a big difference between humility and discounting ourselves. So we don't discount ourselves. That's what it's talking about here. So if we did did a bunch of work and got this big thing, we don't discount ourselves, but we stay humble. So there's a fine line between those two. Not a fine line. There's a big difference between those two. So when others act irresponsibly and attempt to blame their problems on us, we no longer feel guilty. When others act irresponsibly and attempt to blame their problems on us, we no longer feel guilty. We let them face their own consequences. When others talk nonsense, we don't question our own thinking. So if someone says something and you think oh, that's so weird, or I've never thought that, you don't have to doubt yourself. So others can have their own opinion, but like I said in the beginning there, they can have their beliefs and we can have our beliefs, and And if someone's talking nonsense, doesn't mean that you have to question your own thinking. And if someone is pointing their finger at you and saying it's your fault, you now know that you don't have to feel guilty, because they're obviously not taking responsibility for themselves, okay? So let me read that all again. When others act irresponsibly and attempt to blame their problems on us, today we no longer feel guilty. We let them face their own consequences. Today, now that we've done the work, when others talk nonsense, we don't question our own thinking. When others try to manipulate or exploit us, we know it's okay to feel anger and distrust and to say no to the plan, to their plan. So we don't have to now buy into these things. We don't have to buy into someone's manipulation or exploitation. We can feel anger. We know it's safe to feel that anger, but we're not going to attack them. And we can know that we can now walk away and set a boundary. So when others tell us that we want something that we really don't want, or someone tells us that we don't want something that we really do want, we trust ourselves. This is all about owning your power, trusting yourselves, knowing when to walk away, knowing when someone is talking nonsense. You don't have to, you don't have to go onto their wavelength. You don't have to go on their thinking pattern. You can own your own power. So when others tell us that we want, I just did that one. So someone tells us that we don't want something, that we learn to trust ourselves. When others tell us things we don't believe, we know it's okay to trust our instincts. All about trusting yourself and owning your power. We can even change our mind later. And yeah, I know this about myself big time. Things that I thought like 3 weeks ago, I can change my mind today. I said this I was walking and I thought, I was going to ask a neighbor to walk my dog and I was going to pay them $20 for 45 minutes. And then I thought, nah, it's a waste of money. And I felt bad taking it back and saying, don't worry, I'm going to walk the dog myself. And in the moment I felt guilty, but then I was like, wait a second, I'm allowed to change my mind. And I was like, right. So we can even change our minds later. We don't have to give up our personal power to anyone. Strangers, friends, spouses, children, authority figures, or those over whom we're in authority. Over whom we are in authority. People may have things to teach us. They may have more information than we have, and may appear more confident or forceful than we feel, but we are equals. There's the humility part. Remember I was saying everybody's equal. We're neither less than, more than, or less than somebody else. We're all equals. Our magic is not in them. Our light is in us, and it is as bright a light as theirs. So others have their own journey, their own path. Let them walk it. You can support a good friend, but you don't have to buy into, you don't have to co-sign their shit, as my friends will tell me. Don't co-sign. Some people will call you and they just want you to like jump on their train. They just want you to complain with them. And I say no more to that. I don't co-sign anyone's shit. Okay, so we are not second-class citizens. By owning our power, we don't have to become aggressive or controlling. We don't have to discount others, but we don't discount ourselves either. Okay, here's your prayer for today. Today, I will own my power with people. I will let myself know what I know, feel what I feel, believe what I believe, and see what I see. I will be open to changing and learning from others and experience. And I will trust and validate myself too. I will stand in my own truth. So this is really where we start learning to stand in the middle, stand in our truth. We don't have to like, follow the crowd, and we don't have to discount ourselves, and we don't have to think that we're, better than someone because we don't think like them. We don't have to think we're less than someone because we don't think like them. It's all about us respecting everyone's journey, and especially owning our own power, standing in our own truth, and trusting yourself, believing in yourself, and being your number one advocate, your number one supporter, your number one validator, your number one lover. Be your number one. Own your power. Mwah. That's it. Thanks for watching.